Hi everyone and welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now. Well, here's something very interesting that we have observed around us. The lockdown has been utilized quite fruitfully by a lot of individuals, and I'm going to be making you meet some of these individuals. First up, here are the stories of two such individuals. Ashley, who used to earlier be an art collector but now has gotten into baking, and Chandni Alimchandani, who makes the tiniest little sugar treats. What was their story? Why did they start off during the lockdown? Take a look.
Hi everyone, season's greetings to all of you. My name is Ashley and I'm an art collector by profession. Let me tell you, I am one of the last persons to ever enter the kitchen and cook or bake anything. I've really been lazy that way, but I think during this lockdown, this laziness has completely gone because I have been motivated and encouraged by my business partner, my mum, and my sister. So I started off by baking simple tea time cakes, wherein it turned out really well and they loved what I used to make. So I took it one step ahead and I started self learning by looking up a lot of recipes on YouTube and started practicing making different types of cakes. And it has turned out amazing. Really tasted good and good quality, and people were enjoying. Most of my friends, everyone loved it. So yes, that has really motivated me further. Where I opened an Instagram page and started promoting myself on Instagram with my ID, that is at Curated with Love by Ashley, and the response has been wonderful since then. Especially during Diwali and during Christmas, a lot of orders were pouring in. I also started baking for a lot of celebrities, and since then, there's been no looking back. And I definitely look forward to making this as a full time career and a source of income. And I also plan to open a bakery in the near future.
My family always wanted to get into the food industry, and I always really enjoyed baking. And the lockdown gave us a lot of time to develop on that. Now, while a lot of people were going back into their kitchens and starting their businesses, we wanted to do something that was a little different. My brother, when he was at university, he used to munch on these bite-sized treats all the time, and it was so frustrating because we never really had anything that's similar over here that was easily available. And the whole idea of bite-sized everything just seemed so fascinating that we decided to create a brand around that, which is why the Tiny Tub. We just started stocking in stores, our factory's finally set up, and we can manufacture to scale. I definitely feel like we're ready and equipped for what's to come next.
Well, if you thought that India got into baking mode during the lockdown, think again. Here is Anand Chopra and Ansh Bhatia, who decided to start their very own digital marketing firm during the lockdown. Take a look.
Hi, we are Ads Plus. I'm Anand
And I'm Ansh.
and this is our lockdown success story.
During the lockdown, Anand and I were having a discussion on how the COVID pandemic had affected not only the both of us in terms of financial security, but also the entire nation. It was during this discussion that we realized that our career goals, marketing vision, and design vision were highly aligned, which is when we decided to give birth to our brainchild, Ads Plus.
We are a digital marketing firm specializing in luxury branding and aesthetics, along with interactive websites for one to have a truly dynamic user experience.
Our journey began with great uncertainty due to the situation presented. However, we have flourished and growth is on the horizon since the work speaks for itself.
Well, the common string among all of them is that they decided to use the lockdown to start a business for themselves. Now the question is, as we enter a brand new year, should one continue with these businesses? Were they only lockdown relevant businesses, or do you think that these can actually supplement your main income, or even for that matter, replace it. I'm joined by a very special guest for that purpose, Amit Kukreja, founder of Amit Kukreja Advisory. He's in fact also a transitionist specialist. He specializes in helping people go through any big transitions in life, be it marriage, job loss, and addition of a new family member from a financial perspective. So Amit, thank you so much for taking our time for this interview today. So to start with, Amit, you must have heard out the stories of all these individuals here and how, they started something of their own. But the question that we'd like to ask you is, what's the point that people should keep in mind when they now sit to reassess, these lockdown hustles that they have started? Because you need to know if you can continue it, right, going into the coming years. And a new year is always a good time to do that.
Sure, Mubina. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. Second, yes, there are so many lessons this whole situation has taught us with respect to our income earning abilities. People who were stuck in a particular job were not enjoying it. This probably created an opportunity for them to try something new. Or people who suddenly lost their job and were not able to continue doing what they love to do. This probably created an opportunity to be on their own and start something which they love to do and have a different model to do that. So there are many things that we learned and we need to keep in mind. First of all, we don't need to go overboard when we set up our own separate side gig. This by going overboard, I mean we shouldn't deploy all our savings or investments to start big. It should be always started small. It should be always started with something that you can experiment with, because when you're running a business, you are actually doing a lot of things together. This could be refining your product and service after launching it. This could be understanding your clients, their segments. This could be understanding your cost structure. This could be also understanding the kind of space requirements you have for that business, and also getting a top perspective on the profitability. So first few months may not be very profitable, but eventually what's going to be the fuel for your business sustainability is the profits. So you need to have a very good perspective on how profitable your venture is. It shouldn't just turn out to be a fun thing. It should be fun thing with financial sustainability as well. That's just the top level perspective that I would suggest.
Amit, many have also lost their jobs during this crisis, and because of the extra time that they had on their hands, they started these small businesses. In terms of money spending habits, what should they be extra careful about? Because these businesses are new, their income as well will be low in the beginning.
Yeah, tough situation for people like them, having lost a job and having eroded contingency fund, also having some other savings that might have also eroded as well. So obviously my heart goes out for them, and my support suggestions are that they should see if they can borrow money from their friends and families, or they can take a loan against property if they have a property, or they can have a loan against some personal assets. So they will have to take support in terms of borrowing money from people who they know. And also they should do their best to find another work opportunity. This could be a job or a business with minimal investments that has a good profitability margin in it, so that if it's a business, they get back to their earning cycle and saving cycle and then investment cycle. And if it's a job, again, earning cycle and then spending for the household and then savings and then investment cycle. So it's a tough one to be in, but I'm sure a lot of people have got back to their jobs now. A lot of people have started their business as well, and they have accommodated this change positively in the stride, and they are definitely leveraging a lot of this online opportunities, or the model of the business that embraces online business selling or business optimization cycle. So I'm sure there's a lot of positive news as well around us.
That's true, Amit, and we hope, that once again the Indian economy gets to shining and more and more jobs are created. Amit, at what point, let's say if somebody has their 9 to 5 job, or they've got another job offer while their lockdown hustle is on, but at what point do you think that people can take this lockdown hustle seriously and think that, okay, yes, now it can sort of replace my 9 to 5 job or anything else that I had going on as a main source of income, Amit?
Sure. Wonderful question. This is one of the classic situations that people who are going through major transition, they face. The first thing is, of course, there is a lot of excitement and positive state of mind when you start to do something that you love to do. And if you start to do something in parallel to what you're doing already as a job, you know that it's a wonderful opportunity because you're getting to do what you're very passionate about. At the same time, you're not losing your income, which is coming to you from your job. However, remember, we all have limited resources. So we are likely to get burnt out. We are likely to get more exhausted if we are trying to do two things at the same time. But if we have clearly decided our plan of action, that eventually we will be switching over full time to this new thing that we have started as a side gig, then obviously there has to be a transition plan. The plan that takes care of your income or expected income from this side gig that you have started, that you intend to convert it to full-time gig. Then you have to look at your business model. You have to look at your customer model, customer segments. You have to look at your cost structure. You have to look at your leasing arrangement that you need to have in place in order to keep it as a sustainable business, your profitability. And one big thing that you have to keep in mind is you need to segregate personal finance from business finance. Your business might be requiring 10 lakhs, but your personal finance might also be requiring some 5 to 6 lakhs as a contingency fund to take care of you. And business finance and business contingency fund to take care of the employees in difficult situations. So you have to segregate your business finance from personal finance. You have to look at liquidity not only for your personal finance, but also for your business finance. You have to ensure that your financial goals on the personal finance front are not significantly compromised. You have to ensure that the business that you're setting up is sustainable and eventually surpassing the income levels that you're making from your job at the moment. So it's a big transition, but at the same time, it's an overlapping stages that you have in terms of inception of the business and growing of a business, and at the same time continuing your job and gradually leaving your job. So you have to make sure that the switchover happens when the income levels are at least to the level that you were having when you had the job. Big change, but is something that can be easily achieved if you have a plan in place.
All right. David, this was great. Pardon me, Amit, this was great. Thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now. And I think you raised it. You spoke about a very important point that it should be comparable. The money that you are earning right now should be more or less comparable to be able to sustain the kind of lifestyle that you had when you had your 9 to 5 job. Because currently your lifestyle may be adjusted to a particular level, and especially if you have a family, it's very difficult to sort of curb down their lifestyle as you go about nurturing your lockdown hustle. So I think you've put it in a great way. So Amit, thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now.
Mubina, for having me.
Okay, and folks, if you would like to, of course, catch this episode with Amit Kukreja, you can log on to ET Now's YouTube channel and find the entire conversation on the Money Show playlist. For now, we will wrap it up on the show. Many thanks for watching.